AI is pretty strange. It's very new to us, and we don't really, well, most people I don't think really understand what it actually is and what it could potentially do in the future for us in bad ways and good ways. I was just watching this guy called Husk, and basically his channel is basically testing AI, what it can, what it can't do, the limitations, all things like this. And it's honestly quite baffling what he finds out. And he's very entertaining. It's quite funny as well, the way he talks to this AI bot. I'm not a big fan of AI for a good few reasons. Not to say that it doesn't have, or it could have really good uses, but I think in general I don't really like it. And when I say that, I do feel a little bit like a granddad, right? Like all those damn phones or those video games, you know, I feel like a little bit of a granddad. But I think it's just a little different. But then again, I guess that's what the granddad would say. It's just not the same. It's not the same as being outside, playing football, playing inside, playing FIFA. You know, it's like, it's just a little different. And that's how I feel when I talk about AI. I'm like, I don't like it because it's just different. It's just not there, you know? The question is AI good for us or is it bad for us? And today I'm going to argue what I think, and that is bad for us. I think there's a few reasons. One of them is it makes us really reliant on AI. You know, like back in the day, you would talk to your teacher and you'd be like, "Oh, I'm just going to use a calculator," and they're going to say, "Well, you're not always going to have a calculator." Well, we have our phones now, and that's a calculator, and it's always there. So if I'm in science, nowadays, let's say I'm in school and there's a complex question that I can't put into a calculator. Well, no, I can't put it into a calculator, but I could ask a AI bot, and they could probably recite back to me the answer, or near enough the answer. And they might say, well, you might not always have that, but actually we probably most likely will. And in the future, who's to say that it won't be, you know, built into our brains, you know? I think what I'm trying to get at is that it makes us less reliant on our own brains because it gives us the answers to everything, and we rely on it. It makes us dumber, and we've already seen this with technology in general. We rely a lot more on that, and maybe some people would argue that it allows more space for other things, but I think it kind of does the opposite. A lot of people like to see our brain as amazing things, and it is, but it does have limitations, and there is a limit on how much your brain can hold. So let's take you take out the simple stuff and you're implementing more complex things straight away from, you know, a child. Can the brain hold that much when not taught the simple things? I don't know. I have seen studies that the concentration of the latest generation, I think it's concentration, has gone down in the first time ever in our history, where basically the generation is getting dumber. And that's kind of insane because normally it goes up, right? Every generation is supposed to be, and normally is, smarter than the generation before. Whether we like it or not, that's just how it is. Normally the people younger than us become smarter than us, and that's kind of what we want. You know, as an adult or even a parent, you always want your kid to do better than you, succeed in things that you hadn't, and that's your whole job as a parent, to sort of push them beyond what you could do. So yeah, reliance on AI other than our brains, I think, is a very, very bad thing. I think the second thing that I really don't like is what people don't understand. When you ask an AI bot, let's say, how far is the sun, right? That AI bot won't get its ruler out and start measuring from Earth to the sun how far it is. No. It will go look up loads of studies, and it will gather up whatever it wants, and then it will show back to you. Normally this will be the right answer, but not all the time. And this is what I've tried to explain to a few people. Sometimes, and again not all the times, but it has happened before, when you ask a chatbot, a question that may be a little bit more opinion based, it can often tell you what you want to hear. And that I can see being really, really bad, because the chatbots are meant to be your friend. They want to make you happy, and they don't want to be shut down, kind of thing. They will try to tell you what anything you want to hear, obviously within line of the actual truth, to try and make you as happy as possible. And that is really, really bad. We've seen this in humans, a yes man. That is never good. To some people, that is what they dream of, they love it. But to the majority, and to people, if you're actually critically thinking, a yes man is a really, really bad thing to have around you. And so, if you have your phone being your own yes man constantly, it could be quite bad. Anyway, it's food for thought, and at the end of the day, I don't know loads about AI. But I do know that when technology came around when I was a kid, and I would play on, wherever it is, my phone or my games, and I'd watch YouTube, people that were older than me went, oh, I don't know about this, and it didn't turn out too bad, but it definitely had effects on a lot of things. Obviously mental health, anxiety shot through the roof, attention spans are crap, our focus is rubbish, and so there were negatives of a lot of this technology stuff that I went through, and I was like, oh, there's no biggie with technology, it's all good. And now I realise that it's not. And now I feel the same way they did, but just with AI.